XRP continues to go viral at a moment in time where we're seeing a powerful setup on this XRP price chart on the back of some of the best fundamentals of any investment opportunity in this space. Now, as always, I just tell you how I see it, and the move here on XRP looks to be coming quickly, but hear it from Raoul Paul himself, the powerful setup for XRP. Of course, he still thinks that some of his other VC pump coins are going to outperform, but finally, in a moment where everybody has to recognize XRP, you can no longer ignore it. And I'm going to show you that we got these guys that are getting very, very bullish on XRP for good reason. They just might be a little bit late, but hey, better late than never. Without further ado, let's get into it. Everything's at ZachRector.com. Greatly appreciate your support. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. And we're going to take a look here at these markets to get started. Right now, we're watching Bitcoin back down to below actually 94,000 earlier today. I was out of the office and I was in meetings. I was out of the office taking my truck into the shop, and that's a lovely hit to the bank account after we wrap up Christmas. Go drop another rack on getting some new shocks and a couple new tires on my truck. But nonetheless, I was out of the office today, so I hadn't really watched the markets. I did see that we got a little bit of a dip. I don't know where XRP went. Bitcoin back down to 94,000 right now, and we see that Ethereum's down to 3,300. XRP at $2.14 here today. What did we do? I want to just take a quick glance at this. Looks like we did get down to about 213, maybe 212 there. 212 for the low on XRP, but this is the real chart that I'm looking at right now on XRP, which is this monthly chart. And as I said in my video yesterday, we have the most bullish setup for XRP going into 2025. Why? Because if we close this monthly candle, right? I'm looking on my candles on my chart, right? If we close above $1.98, this will be the highest monthly and yearly close ever in XRP's history. So basically, by any time frame, this will be the highest close for XRP heading into the next year, just confirming how much support we have at this level. Now, I know we want to go higher, and we want to go higher now, but what we have to recognize is that we're at least holding this level despite all the turbulence and headwinds that we do face. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about this one right here. Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen saying that she expects to reach new limits between January 14th and January 23, at which time it will be necessary for Treasury to start taking extraordinary measures. So debt ceiling, Treasury hitting limits, this is not going away. And the disaster, the dumpster fire that this administration, that these, I mean, look at the SEC, what they're handing off, right? Hopefully we get to clean this up, and hopefully that'll be easy to clean up. But once again, this administration continuing to run this country into a larger deficit, continuing to expand that deficit. And what did we get for it, right? We're not even getting anything for this record deficit. At least if you go into debt to, buy yourself a house, buy yourself a whip, at least you get the whip to drive around. I don't know what we're getting for the money in the record high deficit spending that we've been having here in DC, and it's not getting any better. Now, speaking of running up the debt, the credit card debt just hit another all-time high. So it's not just from a fiscal perspective of our country, but it's also from a household standpoint, credit card debt hitting an all-time high, while at the same time, credit card interest rates are at the highest levels ever too. So folks are getting squeezed. If you look at the second chart, red line, you'll notice an interesting pattern pre-recession from George Gammon right here. Taking a look at it, credit card debt hits another record high up to $1.17 trillion for our credit card debt. And if we look at this next chart, what you'll see here is credit card debt spiking, heading into recessions. And of course, they want to say this time's different. This time we're going to get a soft landing. I just saw some data point about how many people went homeless this last year. It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening what's happening. And the reason why I'm starting off with a couple negative data points is to show you guys that we do still face significant headwinds from a macroeconomic perspective, from a fiscal perspective here in this country, from a household perspective, from a Main Street economy perspective. And at the same time, for the overall cryptocurrency space, a lot of the other cryptos, they don't have any clarity like XRP does, like ROUSD does. None of these cryptos have that level of clarity. So while everybody else is heading into the eye of the storm, we are in the clear over here in the XRP asset, but we will be affected. We will still get it'll be a little bit bumpy. There's going to be some ripples from the storm, right? The eye of the storm is what Tether's going into, is what our U.S. economy is going into, is what, the average American's heading into. But we found safety over here in XRP with legal clarity, with fundamentals. The technicals are fantastic as well too. And so what I find safety in is in having my liquidity, having my precious metals for defense, and I've gone on offense into these digital assets like XRP that are up nearly 500% in the last 60 days, right? And so once again, this storm is going to affect us, but who is better positioned to rise like a phoenix out of the ashes than XRP? I don't see a better opportunity myself. And we see this one, the average retail investor is up just 9.8% year to date, according to JP Morgan data shared here by the Kobesi letter. At the same time, the S&P 500 is up 26.6%, experiencing one of its best years this century. This year's retail performance is the second weakest out of any year where the index recorded a positive return since 2015. Retail investors are also on track for their fourth straight year of underperformance versus the S&P 500. This comes as many individual investors sold their best performing assets during the August pullback, including Nvidia and Tesla. Retail traders are struggling in this market, making the classic mistake of, seeing a few red days, getting scared, panicking, and jumping on out. Now, for me, I've been saying, hey, might be a good time to take some profit on Nvidia, Tesla, the broader stock market that already has rolled over. I haven't checked what the stock market's doing today, but our stock market's getting squeezed out, and the average retail investor or speculator in our stock market is only up 9.8% year to date. It's pretty poor. But apparently JP Morgan didn't interview any XRP holders because we ain't up 9%. We ain't up 50%. I don't know about some of you guys, but we're up 500% right now plus on our XRP investment. And that was, mostly gained just in the past month and a half. But the point being, we ain't up 9%. It's more like 500%. Some of you guys may be even better depending on how low your average is on XRP. And it's only going to get better. Take a look at it from Raoul Paul. Raoul Paul does like the chart for XRP and sees good things. Of course, he doesn't think that XRP is going to outperform SUI. He thinks his little SUI coin is going to do a little bit better. But take a listen in here on what Raoul Paul has to say.
Okay, next chart, XRP itself, fabulous pattern. Look at wedge after wedge after wedge after wedge. So we're just building another wedge now, ready for the next break higher. So that move is clearly not done. If you look at the weekly chart of XRP, it's a stunner. This massive 7-year wedge is broken. Who knows where this chart goes to? It's very powerful. But then go back to that chart of SUI versus XRP, and it's suggesting that SUI should even outperform this. So that's the perspective I have. Now, it's not always going to be 100% right.
It's a stunner. It's very powerful. But wait. It's not going to outperform my VC pump and dump coin SUI that's already in price discovery, already went to an all-time high. And I'm not to say that, Raoul Paul's not right. Maybe SUI does. I mean, SUI was up 800% this year. And this is why, for me, I look across the traditional stock market. I'm just like, man, you could give me 10, 20, 30% gains on a stock, and it's just nothing compared to what we can achieve in this cryptocurrency space. So I would agree with Raoul Paul that the XRP chart is a stunner, that it is very powerful. And I would say I'm all for it. If SUI outperforms XRP, God bless it. Fine. We're making a lot of money in this space right now. And you can see that Raoul Paul, and the problem is, I want to make this point. It's one thing to be able to read off and tell us that the chart's powerful after it's already broken out. Where the real money is made is getting in early, being an insider like Raoul Paul is on some of these other VC investments that he has. That's the best position to be in. Or like many of us, we're not insiders. We're just regular Joe Blow investors. But we took the time to do the research, the due diligence, to study XRP and understand from a fundamental perspective why this breakout was coming. It's one thing to take a look at the charts with me now and tell me that it's a stunner, that it's very powerful, after we already did 500%. Congratulations. Thank you. That's great. Let's pat ourselves on the back. But the real money was made by getting in at 25 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents. And I know for a fact that Raoul Paul was presented a whole thesis on XRP years ago by our good friend Will, Crypto Insight UK. I got to read the paper that Will did for Raoul Paul and for his investor group. So Raoul Paul and all of his investors were made aware of XRP during the time when it was really good to get in on XRP, but now Now you can recognize that it's a stunner. Now it's very powerful. Well, if you think it looks good now, it was looking even better back there at 25 and 50 cents if you took the time to stop pumping up your VC pump and dump coins and take a look at some fundamentals here on XRP. But hey, better late than never. And it just goes to show you that some of these smartest guys in the room with big bags and big money, they're not going to catch all these. They're not going to catch all, and whether it's ego, whatever it may be, it goes to show you why this opportunity in cryptocurrency investment is so powerful for the average retail investor. Now, speaking of VC pumping and dumping, Digital Asset Investor says, never forget the same VC pump gang that pretends not to be able to get their mind around XRP. We're all in on Luna. Why? The answer is so simple, right? This is Montenegro approves Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon is going to be extradited to the United States following an appeal rejection. and so what we have right here, remember, like DAI says right here, this was the whole gang was in on Luna. They were in with FTX. It was all one big gang. They got in on Ethereum. Now they're in on Sui. That's one of their most recent. You got some other AI tickers. They don't even know how they're going to leverage AI, but it has AI in the name. And then you get some of these big names to pump it up with their VC buddies. And that's how the game is played. And it's just hilarious, and we saw Charles Gasparino was interviewed by Anthony Pompliano. And he goes to say, I don't know why the SEC was going after Ripple. At the same time, you got FTX and all this stuff going. No, Charles, you do know. You do know. Because your buddies at the SEC were too busy protecting their friends, which were getting paid out by FTX, and their businesses were, threatened by Ripple and XRP. So that's why they allowed FTX to get so big, and they developed and put all their resources towards Ripple and XRP. So don't play stupid, Charlie. We know you're a smart guy. Come on, Charlie. Okay? And now, speaking of going viral, this is why I put, powerful setup for XRP with the go viral moment still happening. Take a look at it, folks. I'm not going to speak too much on the details because I don't want to get into it here on YouTube. But take a look at this one. You guys can look into the details further. Jay-Z accuser can stay anonymous despite rapper's protests. So Jay-Z, in this case right here that involves, at the time, was a 13-year-old. And I'm just not even going to speak any further on it because it's just, I'm not going to go there. But the situation here is that the accuser wanted to stay anonymous. And who is the judge presiding over this case? New York Judge Annalisa Torres ruled the woman accusing Jay-Z and Diddy of this situation can keep her identity secret for now, while blasting the rapper's lawyers for their inflammatory and combative tactics. Their aggressive filings are inappropriate and unlikely to benefit their client. There you have it. There you have it. The court will not fast-track the process merely because counsel demands it. That's the direct quote right there from Annalisa Torres, the same judge that gave us the ruling that XRP in and of itself was not a security. So guys, this is what I'm talking about. Raoul Paul. I'm going to show you the next clip here. Memesters getting in on XRP. I'm telling you guys, traditional finance, memesters, mainstream news, 60 Minutes. Who's our judge presiding over the Jay-Z case? About to go, you want to go viral? Oh boy. And that's exactly why they're trying to bury this one. Judge Torres says, not so fast, not so quick. We're not going to fast track this for you. I don't care how many records you sold, Jay-Z. And there's a lot more there that I could say, but I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys get the point. I got my point across, which is that Annalisa Torres, she gets some pretty good rulings here this year so far. Okay, we'll be watching that one closely. And remember, she was the Democratic judge. We were kind of concerned about, some of her rulings, but she's coming through. Judge Torres, huge shout out. Never knew XRP had memes on its chain until today. This is Crypto Rover. Crypto Rover, about 160,000 on YouTube, and he's got over 1 million followers here on X. Big guy. He never knew, though, that XRP had memes on his chain until today. Had to add some Phoenix to my meme coin portfolio because we're in a meme coin super cycle. Having a bag of this flagship meme coin of the third largest cryptocurrency feels like a no-brainer. I'll tell you, XRP has felt like a no-brainer to us. Some of the meme coins, I don't know if they're a no-brainer, but hey, I've always said if you're going to go to the meme coin casino, might as well have one on the XRP ledger. And what you're seeing right now, this is to my point. It's the memesters, 1 million followers. Come on in. Whether they're buying Phoenix, whether they're buying Mickey Mouse, come on in. Come on in, baby. Okay? Memesters, Raoul Paul, Judge Torres, Jay-Z case, 60 Minutes, Charles Gasparino. You get it. This XRP go viral moment is far from being over. And now we're getting some validators. We're getting some infrastructure. We're getting some developers. A little bit more money flowing around our ecosystem, which does wonders for our developers and our builders. Now through this product here, Top Node app, you can now add your name to the list and be a hero of the XRP ledger and have yourself a node on the XRP ledger with their service. They just added 16 new XRP ledger validators by the Top Node service. This is shared here by Vet. We're seeing products now come about where basically you can have other people run the infrastructure and you just contribute a small amount. I don't know what this service costs. If it's a few $100, if it's $50 a month, I don't know what it is. But the point being, more and more infrastructure, more and more builders. The fundamentals are fantastic. The technicals are powerful. The chart is a stunner. And yes, we do have memes. And yes, Judge Torres is given the smackdown in the Jay-Z case. XRP and our story is not over. It's far from over. And we're just getting to the good part, right? This is the climax right here that we're now entering, right? Where we break through not just our lawsuits, not just everything that's been against us, but breaking through on price action, which is what we're all here for. And so the setup into 2025 could not be more bullish. I've been bullish on XRP since I started buying this sucker back in 2018. But what I see for 2025 is massive. So now is the time to stay liquid. As I started out this episode, there's some headwinds. This economy's not perfect, despite what they want to say on the mainstream television, the bubble vision media, despite what they want to say, despite what the White House tried to pitch us, despite what Daddy Powell tried to tell us, it's not the case. And so we're staying liquid and we're getting locked in for 2025. If you guys are with me, make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that notification bell. Everything else is available at ZachRector.com, including our new shop is now available. If you're looking to get the XRP family merch, come on in, take advantage of it. It's a way to support the cause, and I greatly appreciate your support. We are absolutely crushing it. We're heading into 2025 with the most amount of momentum from XRP, from what our community is achieving, and I want you guys to have that same energy about you as we head into the new year. God bless all of you guys. Can we tap it on the way out for me? And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much, and God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.